It means a lot to us.
So I like to start this call as we kind of frame it as like a get started luncheon. We actually just ate, but I like to frame it that way because you will see me snacking throughout our calls, and I like to just set up proper expectations. I'm a snacker, and I'm also pregnant, although now I'm just using that as an excuse. When I wasn't pregnant, I still snack. So just so you guys know, I believe that when you can come together, you can eat together, you feel comfortable enough to break bread together, like ultimately we've invited you guys, like you're now in our family. So feel free to, if you want a snack or whatever, like make yourselves comfortable. We fam now, and just creating that space from the very get-go. We're very relaxed, we're very authentic, and we want you to have that comfort in that space to be the same. So this call, we're going to really spend on setting up the expectations, how this course works, setting up the intentions of what you're out to really create. And so we're going to go from there. I'm going to have Chad share the screen.
Well, first things first is we get to show off the view.
Oh, we have to show off our view. So this is our second home in Daytona. We come here every year. We are looking for a place that has the same view all the time.
I love it.
Yes, best office ever.
Yeah, Sue's on a different Zoom. This is the really, but somehow she's waiting for us.
Oh, is she coming over?
Yeah, working on it. Hold on. Yep, so just leave that one and then just click on that one and should come right in. All right, let's get started.
We're recording this too, so she can go back and watch. So we like to do this exercise from the very beginning to really set the intentions and the goals and kind of frameworks from the very get-go. So Chad's going to draw the lines, and I am going to talk.
Straight-ish.
Yeah, it's all right. So I promise we're not about to teach you music, although I do know how to read music. That's not where we're going with this. So I want you to visualize these lines from like the very present, like where we are today, and then on this side at the end, the other side is 12 months from now. And this is our like creation process. I actually need one more.
Oh, yep.
Two, and then there we go. So this is, we get our little squiggly lines and not too black. So it all blends in. So this is today. This is 12 months. Now we've asked all of you guys what your goals are, and we pretty much know, and we're gonna like really set a strong intention, and bear with us. There is a purpose of this exercise, and at the end you're gonna be like, whoa, that's crazy. So we wanna know, there's not too many people here, so we can just shout out the answers. Like your very best, like what is the number in 12 months that if you're making this, absolutely phenomenal. Like your whole world you would just be absolutely amazed, super happy. Like, holy crap, I did this. What is that number for you?
You mean dollar amount wise?
Yep.
I'm going to say 100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, 100 to 110.
We'll go 100. We don't have too many of you on in this call, so. Awesome. So this is like very good. So this next number I want to know from you guys. This is the like, it's good, right? It's not the like, holy crap, I did it. This is awesome. But it's like the next level down. The like, all right, I mean, this is good. I can live with this. Cool. What's that number for you?
60.
60?
Yeah.
How about you,
I
Renee?
would go with 80.
Okay, so we're going to go 60 to 80. Okay. And this is just like you're staying the same, which can also be just as worse sometimes. And this number here is the We're not going to stay too long in these numbers, but there's a purpose for them. This number here is the it's not really that great. It's not horrible. You're not rock bottom. You're not like filing for bankruptcy. But it's not really what you wanted at all. Like, what is that number for you?
40.
30K.
30 to 40?
Yeah.
And this is the number that no one wants to think about, but we're going to just address it. This is this is rock bottom crap. That happened, and it's not good at all. What would that number be?
Maybe 12K.
I'm going to say 0 because I don't want 0 at all.
Well, that too. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
Like
point.
welfare food stamp level, right? Like,
Yeah.
Got that. So now the purpose in sharing this, what we're stand for you, is we're a stand that you go through this year, you go through this program, we're working with you, and you get up to here. This is what we want. But sometimes things happen, life happens, who knows what could happen, we don't know, you don't know, and things are going, but they're not going quite the way that you were hoping for, and so they go good, right? They're not like exactly what you wanted, but they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And then worst case, what happens, which we absolutely do not want to happen, is you either get here or even worse, here, right? Now the purpose in sharing this is our entire program, we go on the red, yellow, and green scale. So green, you're moving up to your goals. Yellow is like you're kind of slowed down, it's going good, but it's not, you're like held back by a few things. You're not reaching what you're really out to do. And red is a place where we never want any of you guys to be at. So now if you look here, communication is everything, right? So Renee, Renee's in our program with us in Landmark, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And we literally have dedicated a whole year to diving into not just like being good at communication, but being communication, and like really being communication and what that looks like. So if you were to, here we're going along the program and you're down here and that isn't communicated to us and we don't know that, it's going to be it's going to take a lot more work to get you up here. Like you see the space difference. If you're here and we haven't heard from you and you're like, well, this isn't, I'm not doing anything that I want to do, or I'm nowhere near, it's going to take, it's the probability of you getting to your goal at the end of the year and you're down here and haven't communicated probably isn't going to happen. So what we're asking, if you at any time, from the very beginning, at any time, need to communicate that you're not getting, you're stuck, you're stopped, you're going down the path where your future is on the red, the quicker that we know about it, the quicker we can help you get into this green. There's barely any gap for us to get into it, right? Does that make sense for everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So we're asking for a commitment on you guys to just always be in communication.
Okay.
Sue.
Yep.
Hey,
I can do
Sue.
that.
I'm glad you figured it out and you're here. Welcome. We started recording, so I get that you missed the first 10 minutes here, which is okay. I'll just kind of recap real quick. You want to just have her watch the replay?
Yeah, we'll just have her watch the replay.
Okay.
And then Jeff, if you could make sure she's up to date on that.
Maybe do this with her.
Kind of recreate her.
So does that work? Are you frozen? He's
Stunned.
he's stunned by how awesome this is.
Okay, I got it. Holy, are you there?
Yes,
Yep.
we are.
Sorry about that.
All good.
I got on my computer and I have not wanting to go to Windows 10, and as of yesterday, Windows 7 is no longer whatever, da 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 da's. I don't know if that's what happened with regards to Zoom on the computer, but anyways, here we are.
Yep,
Got it.
it's all good. So Jeff is going to get on a call with you, and he can recreate this first 10 minutes with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Okay, so we're all clear, and we've all committed that communication. So how this, you guys are going to be added to our group. It's on Facebook, Renee. So you'll be added to our Quantum Impact group. And anytime you feel stuck, stopped, slowed down, where you feel you are not in green, we want you to put a post in the group and tag us and just say, like, if you feel like you're red, put red, and then what you feel your problem is or where you need help with.
Yeah,
If
and
you're yellow, where you feel slowed down, like, just let us know what color you're at. And either myself, Chad, or Jeff, probably all three of us, will hop in to see what we need to do to get you on green as quick as possible.
yep, and that's another thing is yellow is completely, I mean, everything's acceptable because it's things are going to happen. But ultimately, we end up being in yellow for a little bit of time before we actually get to stopped and at red. And so what we, our request of you is when you start getting into yellow as slow down to communicate like ASAP. Like, I'm yellow, let's communicate, let's make a post in the group and get some help, right? Because if you get to red, you've waited in the yellow too long. And that we could have got you back on track by then. So there's no feeling bad about like asking us for too much help or that you're taking too much of our time or this is just a small problem, I shouldn't post in it, blah, blah. The faster you communicate with us, the faster we can get you on back on track.
Yep. And we ask that you go in the group because ultimately we can all learn from each other. And we have a whole community that can also, that maybe have the same problem that you're going through in the beginning and they can put their input into. So it's a really powerful community that are all about helping each other out. So let me pull up the chat for a second. Testing complete, it works. All right, so clear, moving on to the next. Oh, that's not the eraser. This is the eraser. So Chad does much better drawings than I do. So I'm gonna let him draw. Now, as he's drawing this, I wanna say up front, we are very involved in a program called Landmark Worldwide. It's very fun because the majority of people on this call have gone through Landmark. So, or currently in Landmark. I know Jeff has gone through it. Sue, you've gone through it. Renee, you're in it with us. You're in the same program as well. Right now, we're in the team management leadership program. This was taken from one of the programs and is one of the basis. And I strongly suggest if you have never heard of Landmark and you want to have that conversation to reach out, and we can share a little bit more how it's literally transformed so not just our business but our entire life. And one of the biggest things that they go through and talk about is integrity, and integrity not being right or wrong but being your word. And this is literally, once we really got this distinction of integrity, I would say it's one of the most important things that we live by. So what Chad's drawing here is a wheel, and again, props to Landmark. So this wheel, every time that you put your word to something, you get a spoke in your wheel. But your wheel is like your life, and it's always moving, and it's always going, it's moving forward, backward, whatever direction it's going, it's moving. And every time you put your word to something, you get a spoke in your wheel. And what happens when you have more spokes in your wheel?
You have a more powerful life.
Your wheel runs, it goes better, right? There's support, there's power, it can go faster, it works. Now, anytime that you go out on your word, you don't honor your word, you're not in communication, what starts happening is you start losing your spokes. And when you start losing your spokes, your life gets kind of wobbly. And then more times than not, if there's something that's not working in your life, it's because there's a lack of integrity somewhere. And in order to really progress and move forward in your life is to really expand the foundation of integrity in your life. So that's why we feel this is super important to go through from the very beginning of our program. And I'm going to have Chad share what our breakthrough was in integrity. And also, like, we had a client as well that did this exercise that we're going to show you and what happened for him.
You know, I think South was a huge breakthrough too. So on our breakthrough with integrity, we actually moved down to Florida in 2000. Was that 18? 17? 17. 2017. And we're like living out in, you know, doing the resort thing, and everything's going good. We're making good money. We're staying in Airbnbs, not anything amazing or anything, but we're doing good. And then all of a sudden, shit started drying up to the point where we had nowhere to live. We had no money for like stuff. We barely had money for food, and our friend and CPA we were lucky enough that she actually invited us to live with her for a limited time, and we ended up living in her grandson's stinky bedroom. It's like,
so bad.
Think of a 13-year-old kid that smelled
that never cleaned his room and stayed in. It was gross.
Yeah, and so we're living in there, and then we had our own office but it was like small, and like we worked in this office, and we worked like nonstop all day long, every day, and we literally had no life, and all we did was work, and shit was still not working. And then we went to a weekend with Landmark for the Introduction Leaders Program, and it was all about integrity. They basically they did this wheel, and then they made us make a list of all the places that we are out of integrity. They requested we make a list to be a part of the program, and make a list of all the places that you're out of integrity. And we started making the list, and we started restoring integrity in different areas. And within 2 weeks, because we ran an agency at that time, and we landed one $2,000 client, and then another $3,000 client. And then we had a friend call us and say, hey.
Totally out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue. Like, hey, I have this lady, and she wants a funnel. You can do it for $12,000, right? And we're like, yeah, we could totally do a sales funnel for $12,000. And she's like, okay, cool. This is kind of the idea of it. Can we, how soon can we get started? And we're like, we can get started right away. And she's like, awesome. She's sending me over the money right now, and I'll send you the money in the next day or two. And so $12,000 funnel. And then another funnel we landed was another $12,000 funnel. And it literally, we ended up doing $39,600 that month. And
we didn't do anything
different.
Like, our strategy didn't change. What we did every day didn't change. Like, what changed was we restored our power with integrity. And we literally go through this list. Like, so we're going to ask you to make this list. And this is something that we wouldn't ask you unless we do. Like, we just actually did a list, was it like maybe a week or so ago.
Yep.
We spent 3 hours on this list. So integrity is something you always need to be going through. And it's something that we're just very aware of. Like, are we out? Is there, even if I feel a creative block somewhere and I'm not coming up with content that I want to create, like, am I out of integrity somewhere? Where can I restore integrity? Right. So it's a never ending thing of, you're going to go out and come back in and restore. So we're going to invite you guys to make a list of everywhere that you have not been your word or have not honored your word, and to do this every month or so, or shoot every week if you want to.
Yeah, and it really is, it's not just making the list, it's then restoring. And it was just basically for Leslie. because Leslie, have you done Landmark, and are you familiar with this? Okay, cool. So
So for everyone else, this is a review.
yes, it's a
And
review.
we're gonna go through it anyway.
Yeah, and so it's really the process for restoring your integrity is this. First, it's acknowledging the broken agreement. You put your word to something, and it's really getting that there's been a breakdown in your integrity, and you put your word to something, and it didn't happen. So that's the number one. Number two is acknowledging that there's impacts, and then really getting what those impacts are for you and the other person. And so I'll do the whole thing, and then we'll give an example. So, and then it's recreation of really recreating and saying back that impact to the person, so that they really get that you understand, or that you understand that they impact on them. And then the last, and I think this is a fourth step, is putting in something in place that makes it real, that makes it like that it won't happen again. And so example is, say we were late for this call, which we were on time, high five. But if we were late for this call, we would say something like this. So we had an agreement to be here at 2 o'clock, and we broke that agreement. That doesn't work. We stand for integrity and workability, and the fact that it was late. So an impact is that it doesn't work for what we're stand for, and the impact that we're making in the world. Another impact is this is our first call together, and we're showing up late. And so it lessens the listening of you in your side of like, whoa, this is our first call, and these guys are already late. What the hell? And then what we do is we would ask, so what's the impact for you that we're late? And so you guys would say, well, we were worried, like, did I get it wrong? Am I on the wrong link? Is there like, this or that? And then we would recreate. So an impact is that you're worried. You're like, am I on the wrong link? Do I know, am I in the wrong place? Do I got the wrong time? And you were like questioning like what was going on. And so that's really just like recreating that impact for that person. And then the next, and you get all the impacts, and then you really put something in place that is real. So maybe it's, okay, we're bringing our pizza up, and, we're eating pizza, and we're like, we didn't have a notification on our phone to notify us that the call is at 2. So that could be something in place that is going to allow us to be on time in the future.
Yeah. A little buzzer on or something.
Yeah.
So that's just like an example. So we literally, and this isn't just like being late. This could be, debt owed, or, promises that you've made to people. So Chad and I, we have a promise to each other that we're loving and honoring to each other. So can you imagine that, just be authentic. We are together all the time, and we work together, and everything that we do is together. Do you honestly think that we are loving all the time? For the most part, we are. And there's those times where we are not, and we get snappy and bicker, and it doesn't have, when it happens, we use this process, and we literally go through the, I have an agreement to love and honor you, and snapping at you like I just did totally doesn't work for our possibility of what we're creating in our relationship. And we get the impact. So you can literally use this in every area. And when you do, relationships just become restored. It's truly, so we had a client that, he was doing all the work. His messaging was down. His, he was talking to people. He was having sales call after, this guy was booking calls like crazy, having all sorts of conversations, and nothing was closing for him. So we finally are you willing to test this out? Like, just test it. All it could do was restore your word with people. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So he implemented this. He wrote the list. He got in communication with everyone on his list. And within, I believe, 2 or 3 days, I can't remember 2 or 3, but it was in that time period, Thinkific, which is a very large like teaching platform, actually contacted him and asked him if he would be interested in being the go-to for podcasting on the Thinkific platform and do a big webinar for everyone on Thinkific. So if you guys don't know who Thinkific, there's tens of thousands of people on Thinkific, and it was a huge opportunity for him. He did not do anything different. He restored his integrity with people. So that is how powerful that is. So Jeff,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Integrity, it's once I really got that integrity isn't being right or wrong, or like making yourself wrong for being out of integrity, or it's not about doing the right thing. It's literally almost like it's physics of the universe. Truly. And it's how you keep your power.
Can I just say one thing quick?
Yeah.
So integrity is actually one of my core values, because I actually have 4 core values, and that's my very first one. But just the way that you explained this whole process around integrity is really helpful. And you and I, we've talked, you know, my story. And so I really love that I can actually, this really applies to every specific area of my life and how am I showing up there. So I really appreciate this, because this is going to help me going forward to actually really align myself with that core value, which is important to me. So thank you.
You are welcome.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
So Jeff created a worksheet that is in the group in the unit section, that if you want an extra worksheet to help you go through this and make this list as well, then that's available for you in the unit section of our group. So thank you, Jeff, for making that, and you are awesome. So speaking of integrity, so ultimately everything in life is agreements, right? We're making agreements with people, and that's the integrity. You're keeping them, or you're not keeping them, or you're honoring them, or you're not honoring them. And just go to Dropbox.
You mean DocuSign?
Yeah, whatever.
Like,
I did this for I love how we work together. When we did it that one time, I'm like, where is everything? Chad's my checker person. So we have a few agreements that we ask of you, and then also that we promise to you. So it's a relationship on both ends. And so we are going to share our screen as soon as he pulls this up. We're actually going to send these to you as well. And these are just some agreements that are going to make this whole program work a lot more efficiently. And you can take a little lesson here as you sign in clients. When you have these expectations and agreements set up, there's a lot less breakdowns that, are there breakdowns? Sure, there's always going to be some sort of breakdown, especially when you're growing. You got to break down to break through sometimes. And just having the proper agreements of what your clients can expect is really powerful. So these are the quantum impact agreements. We ask that you will be on time for all of our calls, and if you're not, that you just communicate. We don't want to be sitting there like, what happened to Leslie? Is everything okay? Is she dropped off the face of the world? I don't know. So just communicate with us. I feel like I'm talking. Chad talks a lot, and then this is the point where I talk a lot.
So, so we obviously have a couple of different parts of our program. One part is the coursework, which is the videos and in the membership site. And so it's important not to just show up for the coaching or just book one-on-ones or just go through the course. It's like a faceted program for all of you, right? That's something we never even talked about with any of them, which is hilarious and completely fine, extra value. So is that you go through the course and actually fully do the work. So there's assignments in the course. You go through it and it'll say, okay, you're learning this, and then go do this, and then you come back and you do that work, and then you come back and you go through more of the training. This is not a go through the whole thing and pick and choose what you want to do. It's literally everything is assignments and exercises that you need to do for your business.
And just by doing the assignments, you're growing and moving forward in what you're doing. So
Exactly.
you don't want to resist them because it's just going to help you move forward.
Exactly. So Jeff does an amazing job of holding everybody accountable. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, he makes a post and says, so Monday is
The production promises.
your
What are you
product-
going to get done?
exactly. And there's a good format, and he has a KPI thing. So he has a KPI sheet, or what do you call it, Jeff?
The tracker.
Yeah,
The
the
cloud
KPI.
tracker.
Yep. So it's so you can keep track of the activities that you're doing, who you're talking to, and so you know what's missing when things aren't working or when things are working. And so it's really, really powerful. But the really important things is like really doing the work that you said you're going to do, or being in communication that didn't happen, or it's not going to happen, or whatever. And so Monday is your production promises. Wednesdays are like, where are you at? Like, how is it going? And then Friday is what you get done.
What you get done and what are your wins?
Exactly. Yep. And then the next one is, what I really want everybody to be, just have the mindset that this is a 12-month program, right? We're here for the long haul with you. And if we really step into the numbers, the 100,000, 110,000, and Sue, when we get your numbers, what those are, and that this is going to be us working together for a whole year and really being committed to the whole program, and really what that looks like of being like in it is a sprint, and we're going to get as much done and get you as much clients as you possibly can in this first 60 days. And this is really a long-term game of let's get you guys at least, I think everybody's really kind of under the 6-figure mark. So let's at least get you to the 6 figures in the next 12 months. But that's my intention for you too. I know your numbers are a little bit, but I really think that there's no reason anybody on this call cannot be at 6 figures in the next 12 months. And if you really commit to being in this long term and what's it's really necessary to do that, then that's going to happen. Cool. Is there a meeting on Friday? What? On Fridays?
No, there'll be a post on Friday, and we'll talk more about the schedule after we get through the agreements too. So everyone's really clear on what the schedule of the calls and stuff are.
Yeah, it's not a meeting. What it is it is a post in the Facebook group, and Jeff tags you. So in our Quantum Impact group, he'll make a post, tag you, and it basically asks questions of where you're at and how you did, and he can help you kind of really see or you'll see when you get into the group how that works.
Which we'll add you here today.
Yep.
So also know that the first 8 weeks of this program is all about getting your foundations together and really collecting data. So we need to, before we can move really powerfully, we got to get some foundations in place. So ultimately, the low-hanging fruit, where's your clients now? What's already in your world? Who can we go to right now and get the foundations? And that's really what we focus on for the first 8 weeks.
Yep. Yeah, where are your clients? Exactly what Holly said.
I love you.
And it's really crazy. Sometimes they voices.
I got it.
So one of the biggest things is that when you have breakthroughs in this program, we ask that you share for a couple of reasons. One, we are going to promote the crap out of your testimonial and your result, and it's going to help us get clients. That's the number one. I mean, it's one of the things. Number two, what's happening, and you get to celebrate your wins. Number three,
other people will see your wins and see what's actually possible for them. So you're going to inspire the crap out of other people and what they can do. When they see oh my gosh, Renee's like just did this. I can do this too. Right. So we really created a community where we're empowering each other and working together, and we're all a stand for each other.
Yep.
So you guys agree that that's okay, that we give testimonials and we share you everywhere? And it's been known a few times where people will get a hold of you, and
Yep.
you never
I'm
know
good.
what that can create as well.
Yeah, you get clients from
Yep.
our stuff.
Do you agree to work on yourself in this program as hard as you're working on your business? Because ultimately the only thing getting in the way of your success is you.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
look like you're being in different personal growth. Jeff, you're upside down. That's very skilled. It could be different, listening to podcasts, reading books, whatever that looks like for you to be working on yourself. We ask that you do that. Like, your business is only going to grow as far as you do. And then also, we're going to ask that you create your perfect morning and stick to it. So we're big on morning routines. It doesn't matter how long or what, Chad and I, we have different morning routines that makes us the most powerful during the day. But when you can start your morning powerful, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Right. So do you want to, we'll just give examples of both of ours. We have different mornings.
Yep.
And what works for him may not work for you, doesn't work for me, works for me, might work, so.
Yep. So one of the things I do when I first wake up is I do a running in place in the mirror, and I do some mantras or affirmation type things, and then I do some mirror work where I'm actually in the mirror and I'm talking, and then we do something in this program that we teach you guys how to emotionally release stuff using something called NET. And it's super powerful. Basically, the gist of it is if you have a negative emotion, a fear, a memory, something that you have an emotional charge around it. So what I do is I'll say, one of the things that I say is, and I'll kind of show you guys how to do it. You take your thumb and you put it on the beat, the pulse. And then you take it and you put it on your head. And then what you do is you get into the memory, the fear, whatever you got going on. So the thing that I say is, I release anything that is holding us back from accumulating wealth and making an impact with our clients. And then I just release it out, and it's and there's sometimes just tears. And there's all kinds of stuff going on that and then I have a bunch of them that I do that with, anything that's keeping me from being present with our clients or potential clients, that's keeping me or keeping us from really making the impact that we can. And I release that. And then I do priming. I don't know if you guys know familiar with priming. Priming is basically a breathing technique where you're exerting out your nose. And I do that in front of the shower, so I don't shoot boogers all over the place. Sometimes that happens. But what it does is it puts you into a peak state. And then what I've been to a couple events. Actually, Tony Robbins was one of them, where I hit my foot on the ground and I have an anchor that brings up a powerful state for myself. And then I do some NLP, the ball energy work, and that really just anchors and ups my energy level and power for the day. So that's basically the gist of my. And then I do a walk. We've been doing lives, and that's been amazing. And I'm trying to think of this. Oh, I do some push-ups and squats so I can get the fastest workout that I possibly can. Those are two great ways of getting the workout.
Yes, and I'm more of a diva in the morning. I literally have sectioned out 3 hours of my morning before I even really go on social media or start working or anything to do with it. So I get out of bed and I literally roll onto my yoga mat. I'll set my intention of what I'm out, what I want to accomplish in the day, and what it's different every day. And then I'll do about 30 minutes of yoga, and then I sit and I go between meditation and prayer. I'm a very spiritual person, so I take time in the morning where I'm not get all energized, but I get more get still and just be present and, you know, hear what the universe, God, however you want to phrase that, has for me. And I start visualizing. I've kind of created like a manifestation yoga meditation. It's been my own practice that I've put together over the years. And after that, I do a card reading. So I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but I have more Oracle and Tarot cards than I have shoes. And so I'll pick a deck, and as I'm going through my intentions and what I'm creating, I'll do like a little mini reading for the day where I get a lot of inspiration and whatnot from. And then from there, I will take a shower, and then I'll do my net releases in the shower. And I take I have a very spiritual shower. So as I'm doing the net release, I'm also letting the water just wash it all away. And so I take my shower not just to clean my body, but to clean like anything, like any of my past or things that are holding us back, and like wash that away and like visualize washing that away. And then after my shower, as I'm doing my makeup, I do my mirror work where I'm, you know, speaking life into myself. I'm like creating power into my day. I do my makeup and do my hair. And as I'm getting ready, I have a called Shift 365 little audio that I listen to that kind of gets me, it transitions from my spiritual quiet time to my, okay, it's time to get creative. It's time to start working. It's time to like really make an impact with people. And then I go off and get my day going. So my morning is like my sacred me time, where Chad has like a power energy time, and neither is right or wrong. It's what works for you. And we just ask that you find something that works for you so that you can have a really powerful day. Cool.
Yep.
So those are the things that we're going to ask of you guys. And we have some agreements for you that are promises to you guys as coaches and facilitators of this program. Our agreement for you is that we're going to be on time for our calls, and that if we are not, we will communicate in an appropriate time frame. I can't remember of too many times, like maybe one that it didn't happen. And I'm thinking even that might be a number. And if it ever happens, who knows when I'm going to go in labor? We'll let you know. Okay.
Stay in there.
For a couple more months. We also promise that we're going to support you through this program, like no matter what. Like we totally understand there's going to be breakdowns and things that are like I'm going to be totally authentic. Sometimes you're going to get frustrated. Sometimes it may not be working the way that you want it to work. There's going to be stories that you're going to tell yourself. And like no matter what, we're going to support you through it, right? And not have any judgments on you for going through what you're going through, because we're going to meet you where you are, and we're going to love you no matter what. Right? You're here because we believe in you. We don't accept everyone in this program. We don't want everyone in this program. Right? You're here because we believe in you, and we want to invest and be a stand for you in your life and what you're out to do. We're also going to promote you to our following and help you get leads when it's possible. And if we see that like our following is really going to benefit from, you know, or be interested in like learning how to be a mystery shopper, what that would look like. So Renee has like a really cool thing that she does, and I'm excited to be a part of. You know, maybe we'll make a post out for Renee. Maybe we'll make a post out, you know, mind, body, soul, and like living your highest potential. Like wherever we see fit, we're here to help you guys.
Yep. And especially when you guys get results, it makes it way easier, because then we can
get you on a live and interview you.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll brag about your results, and you get to talk about what you do. So it's really powerful.
Yeah.
All right. And so we're gonna meet you where you are and love you. Did you?
Yeah.
Ah, good. Okay. So we're gonna hold you accountable. Like that's Jeff's job, is really holding.
We're going to hold you so accountable that we brought someone on our team to hold you, like, to make sure that it happens and it doesn't slip through the cracks. And it's not everybody's funnest thing, and it's really what everybody needs at some level. Mm-hmm. So Jeff is here. Like, that's literally his main role, is to help people like with clarity and keep accountable to what their promises are. Cool. Next thing, if by chance we have any workshops or mini courses that while you're in this program and they're under $497, we don't do them a lot, to be totally honest, but if we do for some reason, you guys get access to those.
And we're a stand for your results, for you and your results.
Yep, period. You guys said, you guys gave us a number and what your stand for. You gave us your vision and what you're out for, to be able to travel more on your terms, see family, and expand your home. And we're a stand for that, for all of you. Yep, I don't know what's going on here, so if you could drop your email addresses in the chat, then we are going to email this to you in a program called DocuSign.
Are we gonna do that, or we're gonna use Zoho, right, Jeff?
Oh, I'm not a Zoho person.
Yeah. Are they all in our appointment? I was just checking it.
I don't know if Renee.
I will get it all to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be
Renee
great.
is, I know that.
So there's one other part we didn't even talk about of this program, and we're going to send over. So Renee and Leslie, we haven't sent you over the links yet, but basically, you're essentially everybody's in a 60-day love it or leave it, right? In the sense that if for some reason you don't absolutely love it, or your cat dies and you're like too sad to like do your business, or whatever happens, that like sometimes life's gonna we're a stand for you to really push through and make it happen anyways, and things are it could happen, right? And so what we want you to be here for the whole 12 months, and there's a 60-day, you're essentially get a 60-day trial of our of the year program. And so essentially it's the love it or leave it. Anyways, so we get you set up, and this like helps us with the logistics. So when your 60 days is up, it's automatically coming. It's already taken care of, and we don't have to chase it and get that set up. So we're going to send you the link to get that 60 days set up. If for some reason that something isn't working, and just let us know, and we just stop the trial, so then that doesn't come out, and then everything's fine. We're a stand for you, and if it's a breakthrough thing that you need to have, then we'll have a conversation about it. But if there's like nothing that you can do, then we will stop the trial, and we'll just let you kind of go on your own way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. I'll send to both of you Sue's already taken care of on that, and I'll send you guys the link for that.
So while he's doing that, we can move forward to some of the expectations and the times of this course, and then what's available to make sure you guys are utilizing it to its fullness. So I'm going to introduce Jeff here to let him say a few words in just a minute. Like you said, he's our accountability and clarity coach. He's incredible. He's been with us from the very beginning. He likes to say I was with Chad and Holly before they were Chad and Holly. He was with Chad before I was ever around, and then he had to get used to and fall in love with me as well. And so he's gone through all of our.
She had to fall in love with me. I was doing her job.
It was a mutual thing. Not all of it, but it was a mutual thing. And
No, thank you.
I'm grateful for him. I'm very grateful for Jeff and what he brings into our company. So I'm going to give him a minute here in a few. So he is going to do 3 posts into our group on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. And just like Chad was saying earlier, Monday is going to be the production promises of the week. He has a tracker that he's created to help you guys. Wednesday, he's going to do like how are things going, like a midweek check-in, and then Friday are the wins. The calls of the week are Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We have a power hour, like productivity call. So once in a great while, we have some trainings and like do some drills, like a quick training and then go out and do it action thing. Most of the time they are like, bring a project to the call, and we're all like, we're gonna be intentional about it. You're gonna say like what your intention is for the hour. We're gonna mute, and if you want to turn off your videos or whatever, and we're all getting like power productivity together. It's really fun and to see how much you can get done when there's a timer going and there's other people working and you've set your intent. Like it's just like productivity at its finest. It happens. So these calls are really powerful. If you can make it, amazing. I really feel that people who come onto these calls consistently are very effective. So that's Monday at 11 a.m. Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which we're going to start here in about 10 minutes. If you're free, you're more than welcome to come or hang out. If you are not, then that's totally okay. Start next week. Wednesday at 3 p.m., these are our coaching calls. So our coaching calls is going to be a couple different, we switch it up. It's not always just straight like, what's your problem? And hey, let's solve it. Sometimes it is drill sessions. Like we want you to learn this stuff, but we want you to more than learn it. We want you to be proficient in it. We want you to be good at it. We want you to get results in what it is that you're doing. Right? So we're going to switch it up and sometimes have drill sessions with you so you can practice. So when you're going out there we'll say like in the real world or like really on the court, you guys are efficient at what it is that you're doing. Or sometimes we'll have what's stopped or holding you back. Sometimes we'll do new trainings and have trainings for you guys and then give you an assignment for the week. So we switch it up. It's not always the same. So Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Important for you guys to be here. Same link. We always use this link. Calls are on Wednesdays. Yes. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. After our case, so today around 4 o'clock, because we have our coaching call here at 3, we're going to add you into the group. We'll tag all of you guys with a welcome, and then on the post is going to have a membership login where you can create your account and then get all the training. And so something that you can take for your business is to not just have a course, but to have coaching, to put them together. Is coaching and teaching are not the same thing, right?
Yep, and even going further with that is like skill sessions. Yep, totally. So you talk like not just have a course, not just have coaching, but then having where you're actually working, and this is like them actually implementing it, not just what we do.
I got what you're saying now.
Right. So in the sense that Renee, you can what is it called? Like role play a situation with, them going out and like give them example of something, and they actually work on it or set a diagram of like how they're going to run around. You say, no, at 4 o'clock, Sue, we're going to add you to the group and then tag you and welcome you guys into the group.
And give you your membership site so you can start training and watching the videos. You can watch the training and the videos on your time, your schedule, whenever works best for you. I know we all are busy out doing big things. Just the calls at 3 p.m. or something that you want to make sure that you're active in.
Yep.
Is that clear? Cool. Jeff, if you want to hop on and say a few words, I know that we're going to get started in our case study here in a few minutes, so I want to wrap this up.
Yeah, so, I'm really looking forward to being with you guys. You should all have just gotten an email. I think it comes from me now. It's design@jpatkinsdesign.com. And if you could go through and sign your agreements. Also, it talks about the call. I'm going to send you a message around that also. The very first thing I want to do with you guys is set up a call. We're going to go over everything that we kind of talked about here and really go into what your schedule looks like. One of the things that we found that was really effective for our clients is to get really deep into their schedule and make sure that they're using time wisely. And people have been finding like 10 to 15 hours more a week that they didn't even know they had. So it's kind of fun. And I get to know you guys. I know that I've actually got to talk to all three of you. Yay! I think this is the first time in a long time that I've actually done that. So it's just a great way for me to get to know you and find out what your goals are. And you can get to know me. I'm always here for you. My job really is to make sure you get the most out of this program. So I love each and every one of you. I look forward to talking to you guys.
Jeff,
Yes.
I didn't receive the email.
Okay, give it about 15 minutes. If you didn't, let me know.
Alrighty.
Also,
I got one more thing too. Go ahead.
yeah. So Renee, I sent you a text with an order form for the trial.
Yeah, you did.
Just so you
Yes.
know, you won't be charged anything for 60 days. It's $0. So it might come through as $0 on your card or whatever. Just so
Okay.
they can communicate. Leslie, I sent you a message on Facebook. Cool. If you guys can get that taken care of like ASAP.
And just so
Okay,
you
yeah,
know,
I got.
cool. So Jeff is going to, you guys will have that call for the time thing, and it's an optional thing, just so you know that it's available. So I've been in the personal development and the coaching world for going on probably 10 plus years now, where my biggest passion is helping people through their breakthroughs. And so if there's anything where you feel at a breakthrough wise that you like are just feeling stuck or stopped, and I know you guys are all coaches and you have tools, and I also do breakthrough sessions with our clients whenever, like when they feel like it's necessary, like, hey, I feel like I'm being stopped and I don't think it's a strategy thing. I think it's like there's something going on up here. Could you help out? So I'm certified in belief therapy and have done quite extensive work working with